Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am. Motherfucker! I need your corporate number. Because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in the store. I need your corporate number now.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to a interesting beginning of tonight's Plumes of Hazard. I'm Askblasto9. These are my politically correct co-host, Fubaka, and understudy Not Here 77, and he won't be back for a while. And last but not least, the exfoliator, lots of farts.
Lots of farts.
Cilantro farts.
The understudy, the sir not appearing in this film. 77. Rob didn't get the intro.
I'm not explaining anything.
Yeah, that's
not explaining anything.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
We may not have any subs, but we still care.
Welcome.
Oh boy.
So the day before Valentine's Day. Wow. There's some people playing some not so cool tricks at one of our freezer locations tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's I don't even know if I want to even comment about it, but there's a person who, I'm not going to say if it's male or female, but they've been posting all kinds of stuff on the Facebooks.
It's ma'am.
Remember that shit from Family Guy? My name is Ron.
Or Charlie. Remember Charlie? From Mad TV.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm not going to assume their identity, but they've been posting, jokes about getting flowers on Valentine's Day, and the only way you're going to do that is if you get into the hospital and this and that, because they've been single for a long time because of their choosing. So someone is going and getting roses and putting them on this person's desk tomorrow, and to make it seem like a secret admirer is happening. I'm like, oh boy, you guys are starting some shit.
It's pretty brutal.
Hey, Mass, I didn't know you were a 5th grade teacher.
You're close. So
check chat. Am I right?
No.
God damn it! No. Oh, I was so hoping. Oh man.
No, it's not. It's not Captain Weeb.
You're Ross, right? Kenning and Valentine's Day's dog toys are half off the day after. That's the only way.
Yo, so apparently there's a zoo in Europe or New Zealand or something where they're letting you name the cockroaches that they're feeding to, like a lemur or something. So you could buy a cockroach and you can watch this thing eat it with your name on it, with your ex's name on it or something like that.
Yeah, it's my boy. So, he's got my nose.
Yeah. So
that's really weird.
Yeah. Or a person you hate.
It's actually not weird. It's a great fucking You're monetizing something you're already fucking doing, which is feeding the animals.
All I know is that some bitch is gonna be fat.
This is like this is basically like the International Star Registry if it wasn't a scam.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. Not only are you now making money off of something you're doing anyway, you're actually getting people to pay money to pay for bugs that you pay people to get out of your house anyway.
Yeah, I got that shit for free from Queens.
That's right.
Yes. So the article reads: scorned lovers can now name a cockroach after their ex and have it fed to a meerkat. An El Paso Sioux will, well, it's actually here, will name a cockroach after your exes and then feed it to the meerkat live on video this Valentine's Day. And they'll announce the name too. So there you go.
Awesome.
It's called Quit Bugging Me. Name a cockroach after your ex. Names will be displayed on our meerkat exhibit and our social media starting February 11th. This is going to be great.
I think I might be tempted to do that if by doing it, if I got a video clip of mine being fed and then I could grab it. Yep.
It says, as part of the lead up, starting February 11th, the zoo will put up the names of people's exes on social media and on the walls of its meerkat exhibit. The zoo is calling its offer the perfect Valentine's Day gift. But they're not the only zoo doing this. The Bronx Zoo is also doing one. But for $15.
That's an expensive roach.
Oh,
I guess I got to pay somebody to track down the roach and grab the roach and write that shit on.
they can name the roach whatever they want and receive a certificate.
Oh my god! I guarantee you, someone's already named their roach D's nuts.
Has to have been
Fun. All right.
Rob. Somebody can buy one of my dog poops, and then I can video my sister's dog eat it. Yeah, you know.
I think there's something there.
Dogs are gross. Yeah, I don't understand.
Yes, they are.
It's just gross. Why do that? I did read something about it. There was something about how what we feed dogs these days, you know, as opposed to their natural, like in the wild diet.
Mm-hmm.
The shit that we feed them apparently get processed through, and a significant percentage of it just goes right through. So when the dogs smell the other dog's poop, they'll eat it because it smells like fucking food.
Dude, I kid you not. I pick up my dog shit because, you know, when my kid goes out and runs in the backyard, I don't want to be cleaning it off for fucking shoes. And I got 3 big dogs, so there's some fucking serious land mineage. So I pick up probably like every 3 days, and the amount that I feed them versus the amount that I mean, like, you could tell how efficient they are at just fucking processing this food, because what the size of shits that they take on this food versus other food is a lot smaller.
Oh, is that right?
So yeah, and I think it's got to do with that, with, you know, the type of shit that's in the food, that they don't absorb any of the nutrients, they just shit it right out. So you're paying money to feed them, and it's not doing anything for them.
And
so
it's in tight coils on the lawn.
Yeah. Well, that and my lab, she eats whole paper towels, and I mean, dude, crayons, like, it's like colorful shit out there. It's like a goose hunt. You know, when I'm out there picking up shit, I'm like, ooh, what's this? What's that? You know, it's easy to spot in the grass when there's a fucking yellow crayon sticking out.
You got the fucking,
or, you know, blue. They don't even chew it. They just fucking eat the whole crayon. I don't know what it is about crayons. The fucking dogs love them.
fucking mascot, the United Colors of Valentine.
Fucking flag. Venezuelan flag just got shitted out of my yard.
My parents' dog, when she was alive, would eat. She would go into the trash in the bathroom and pull up used Q-tips, like clean out your ears Q-tips. She'd walk around with them hanging out their mouth.
Yeah, my lab does that. She eats the fucking Q-tips, and sometimes they get stuck. Yeah. The funniest is when for some reason it's the lab beagle that I have. She'll go and take a dump, and like, it'll be a string of something, and it'll be still sticking. The string will still sticking out, and she's kind of like. Yeah, and she's walking a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, that's what you get, bitch, for eating the whole fucking roll of paper towels. Yeah. Damn. Duro says a 30-pound bag of my dog's food is $100. I believe it. If your dog has to be on some special kind of food, I believe it.
Man, artisanal dog food. That's right.
That's why he's a high-end Italian dog food.
Yo, I will say that
else about this a while back. Back when I was a kid, old dog poops that didn't get picked up in the yard. They used to turn white.
White, yeah.
And it doesn't. They don't do that anymore. And apparently, it's because of the kind of calcium they put in it. These days is different than what it was before.
I remember that.
This shit that sits, it needs to burn the fucking hole in my grass. Yeah, fuck you, neighbors.
Well, your dog's piss will definitely eat a hole in your grass.
That too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anksy, I always wondered about that because when I was a kid, I'd be walking around, our neighborhood, and I'd see the fucking white, as bright as day turds out there. That's probably all that.
Oh, I found
it was the addition of titanium dioxide in the dog's poop that made it.
You sure wasn't the white crayons they added to the food?
Maybe, but yeah, no, I mean, my freaking lab will eat all kinds of shit, man, and she just poops them right out. She never even throws up; she just fucking poops them out. I'm like,
that is a lab thing, bro. I've been told. Everybody that I've never known that has a lab, like a majority of them are just eaters. They'll eat socks, they'll eat fucking whatever.
A paper towel, like even a straight up clean paper towel. What good is it to eat it? She just goes and eats it off the counter. Like, you have the cleanest inside of any dog, I'm sure. And the worst is when lawnmower runs it over, it's like it turns into a fucking, that's why I pick it up. So, anyways, but yeah, I believe Duro with the. I mean, I feed mine, and my bag of food is a 35-pound. And it's around $37 off Amazon. It's a weight maintaining food, because I got Weimaraners and so it's a weight maintaining and all that other good shit. But yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, that's right. Mike's talking about the grain-free thing, the grain-free stuff. That's what that always made sense to me. Like when you're feeding a dog, which is not an omnivore, right? And the dog's just not. Why feed him grains?
Yeah. Well, I will say this: we had a scare with one of the Weimaraners where she does not know how to not eat the whole fucking rawhide bone that I gave her. This was a few years back. I mean, it was bad enough to where that's the first time I ever taken a dog to an emergency vet because she was throwing up blood, she was pooping blood. It was just something was wrong. Yeah. And long story short, she just has a problem digesting rawhide. So I could never give her any more rawhide or the other dog's rawhide because she would go in and grab it from the other dogs and just eat it so fast and swallow the whole thing. Well, so one of the things they said was, okay, you need to not feed her for a day and a half and then put her on a white rice and boiled chicken diet. Dude, that stuff fixes everything. Whenever a dog's got stomach problems, you just give them some rice and chicken, and they're back into it. Like, it's amazing. I mean, 2-3 days of that.
Yeah.
That and green beans. We give them green beans because if not, I'll go broke on dog food. We'll mix some green beans in the food with them so they don't feel as hungry because, feed them too much food.
Yeah, but green beans are one thing. It's another thing to feed them just corn or whatever, right? Or wheat.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
It's like, I already have to see corn in my own poop. Like, I want to see it in yours. Like,
that's the whole thing with the chickens eating their ground up.
Yeah, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the rice and chicken. That's actually something my mom used to make for me when I was feeling had tummy problems or whatever when I was a kid. Just like real simple white rice, chicken,
like
salt and pepper.
kind of soupy chicken.
Yeah. A little bit of butter, salt and pepper, and that's it. and I still like it to this day. I'll bake it for myself sometimes. Get like one of those rotisserie chickens and pick it out, drop it in some rice, done. Yeah. So plumes of pets tonight and poop. Don't forget poop.
Pets and poop.
The closest thing I have to a pet are the stray cats that roam around my backyard that keep mice out of my house and probably my neighbor's house.
True.
They can shit all over my backyard. That's fine. They're providing a service.
That's right. At least they're paying you, right?
Yeah. I cut out some chicken. I'll throw some scraps.
Do you have a lot of like not wooded areas, but like heavily areas where they can come out of over there, or is it just
mice?
Like rats and mice and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Or is
I
it
feel
from
like
the
it's
sewers?
just, well, I don't live in the city. I live in the burbs, and I feel like
Right. That's what I'm asking.
and like because the houses are very close together, and
But you still got city sewer out there, right?
no, we're
Oh,
separate.
is it septic?
So, well, we use no, we don't use septic. No, we have like
Oh,
pipes
okay.
underground and shit. But
Right. Yeah. So, but it's a sewer system, but not city sewer. But you still have sewer provided by
yeah, and so yeah, it's just inherent of my area. It's not like it's like I haven't had to deal with a mouse in like a couple of years now, which is nice
yeah.
because the cats are doing their fucking job. Like every so often, like I take a walk, and the thing is, like there are strays from here to like the other end of the block. I take my walk to the grocery store near my house. Just casually just see a fucking disemboweled mouse just on the sidewalk. Like, yeah,
That's right. Eat it.
it's my man right there. It's my man. You're getting 2 pieces of chicken tonight. So, yeah, they fucking shit up, and I'm happy. My sister's like, "Don't feed them," and I'm like, "Why wouldn't you? Got to pay tribute. And we're gonna get sacrificed to the sun god, my man." So,
What are you vaping on, Naifu?
same shit. SX Mini, Narca, Snowdrift, Oman Tip, Oman,
Oman.
Oman.
Somebody just said in chat earlier, the Omen tips came back and
Yeah, Rob posted earlier.
Yeah, Rob. Yep.
Some
Tip
really
Rob,
good-
that's true. He posted in the group too. I did see Owen posted today. Apparently he's at a well, he's up north, so he's got the weather problems and whatnot, but he's also apparently has some machining problems and stuff. So he's been gone for a little while. But apparently he's back and got some tips in stock, which is great. For me, Limelight, Gloom, Ram board inside, rail cracker in there, Haku Vena on top, Omen tip, and a bell cap. I got a message, by the way, from Christian. I haven't talked to Chris in a while. Hello to my favorite Frenchman. He shot me a link today of a video. He said, just because I thought of you. It was very funny. And I've also got this. This is the ESG Skyline drop. And I took it off the mod that I've been vaping on because the mod is it's part of my vape mail. It finally came. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But inside of here is abolishment, clearly, and it does have a built-in tip. So I don't have an Omen tip on there because you have to use the Skyline one.
Was that an 11 millimeter tip on your Narca?
On the Narca? Yeah, it is it is a slightly larger one.
Yeah, because I'm like, that looks weird. Because
Yeah.
all I use are 9s, so.
All my other ones are 9s. This one I ordered an 11, and I think I ended up starting to use it because my 9 millimeter white one was weird. Why did I not use it? Oh, it was too tight on the bell cap, so I went to the other one. That's why. Masty, have you been vaping?
I did today. I was hitting my Squonker. I haven't messed with the Orion too much lately. I think I need to get a new tank. I did see that they had changed they changed some of the stuff on the newer tanks that just came out. Forget what they had done to try to, I guess, to make them last longer.
Yeah, I did hear
Something like
that. I did hear that they messed with the wicking or something.
So probably try to get some more of that. But yeah, I've been trying to. I posted. I commented on a post on Reddit a few days ago where a guy was like, was complaining about not being able to sleep, and and I asked, well, up to what time are you vaping? He goes, oh man, he goes, I vape right in my bed and then I go to bed, and I'm like, well, I was like, just know that, and he was doing, I think he was at 6 and somebody suggested Nick salts. But I don't know. I know the, for him, it was, for me, obviously it's not nicotine because I was vaping 0.
Yeah.
But I think it had to do with, you know, I was getting a lot of dry mouth and stuff like that. You know, we talked about it, but I can't imagine, you know, even like one for sure has me like hyped up, you know, and three.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand how him, like, you know, and some people can, you know, they can hit, you know, 6, no problem. But I don't know. I would, you know, some people were saying, oh, just don't even vape the Nick salts, just, you know, take a little drop. And so under the tongue. And I'm like, well, so he's like, yeah, I don't know if I can go all night. I'm like, what, are you waking up in the middle of the night because you have to have a cig? He's like, yeah. Okay.
I don't think I ever did that. I never like woke up in the middle of the night just to smoke. If I woke up because I couldn't sleep, I'm like, well, I'm already awake. I might as well smoke a fucking cigarette.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
But and it wasn't like one of those like I never smoked in bed either. So
Yeah, Rob, I got about 3 weeks. But it's the same. I don't, you know, my vaping level has gone down, and I think around that, I think I remember on one of the shows around that 3rd week time. That's when I started, you know, because I was using PB&J, Stash's PB&J to test it, and that's when I started really noticing a change. So, and I had refilled that tank probably around 4 times per week. So, you know, there was a lot of fluid moving through there. I mean, those things are small, but
Yeah.
but yeah. And if you have a 2011 to 2013 Ford truck, I don't know if you saw, but 1.5 million trucks are being recalled.
Oh.
So yeah, you can be driving down the highway and your transmission decides to go into first gear.
wait, which brand of car manufacturer this happened to?
It's a Ford F-150s.
So
yeah,
I had Chevys that I hated. Chevys. And I had like a couple of I had a bad streak of having a Chevy Cruze as my rental.
Oof, yeah,
dude. I'm telling you, not even fucking 8,000 miles on these things, and the transmissions were slipping. And I'm like, oh, I only have to drive like 400 miles this week.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird because the 2011s through early 2013s manufactured had a problem with something called the let frame. So it was actually a mechanical problem in the transmission. This is apparently a software issue where it loses the output shaft sensor, so the transmission doesn't detect that there's any motion, so it's going to downshift. Yeah. So I was just talking to a buddy of mine, and I'm like, oh, so now that you just tell the computer, ignore the output shaft. It's really weird because I'm telling you, like, even back in the early 90s, we a buddy of mine, his uncle was taught the shop class at one of the colleges here, and even back then the computers were so sophisticated it wasn't even funny. But it's like there's a million other sensors on the vehicle that tell you that you're going 80 miles an hour. You know, vehicle speed sensor, there's freaking sensors on the wheel, you know, so you could just say if you lose input from one, go to the other, but who knows? So now you got to take your truck in to get it reflashed so it doesn't go in the first gear.
So it doesn't leap out of your car while you're going.
Dude, can you imagine if that shit goes into, I mean, like, I didn't even think it was possible. Like, a lot of the transmissions are mechanically governed to not even go into first gear when that happens.
Right.
So or even downshift. But dude, if your transmission downshifts to even second gear, your rear end is gonna shit itself. You know?
And your engine's just going to come out the hood, you know. I mean, you think about the lurch that would be crazy. I mean, like even a standard car, right? You can't shift into first unless you're basically stopped.
Right. Yeah.
Like you said, mechanically.
The synchros are like no.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to take my car in because Honda sent me a letter, and they're like, "Hey, so you're, the 2010 to 2012 Civic, you may have a faulty airbag. You may." So I got
the Takata airbags.
Probably I got to take that shit in when I can.
Yeah.
Get my air. I think it's the side passenger airbag.
Yeah, those are the ones that just fucking pop out of nowhere. You'll be driving.
Like, oh hey, who brought the popcorn? Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Festy's confirming there's not much mechanical these days in trannies. Gears and clutches. That's about it.
Yeah, and like even like my 13, it's all solenoid base, you know. So that's. But so we're gonna talk about the e-cig ban in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong,
Hong Kong Free Press, e-cigarettes face ban as Hong Kong proposes penalties of 50,000 HK and 6 months in jail for those importing or selling electronic cigarettes and other alternative smoking products. And we were talking about this earlier. I mean, they've been always pretty strict about that.
Yeah. The international dateline countries, as I'm starting to call them now, Australia's had some pretty shitty vaping legislation. Was it New Zealand or Australia where that guy was fighting for like years and years? So there was that. Japan, Singapore, Thailand. My sister, when I got my brother to vape for the brief while he did, my sister just flew with the stuff there. I mean, it's huge in the Philippines, but one matter of time, it's fucking shut down.
And also in addition to bans, most of you know I'm in Florida. There's a few other folks in here too. The Florida, the vaping ban is moving forward to the House of Representatives. So, and that's the the measure that is called the House Health Quality Subcommittee was looking at, and it's going to become they're trying to make it a state law that bars people from smoking tobacco. So again, they're not just ruling out, smoking or vaping within 1,000 feet of schools or workplaces. Or
workplaces.
So,
yeah,
dude. Yeah. So the crazy thing is that now, we have a lot of, in this area, specifically where I live, we have a lot of defense contractors, Harris, Intersil, Grumman, all these guys. And the people have to, you see them out on the road, like at the fucking bus stop, and they're all huddled together smoking. The building is like fucking so far away.
Yeah.
Where they're at. I'm like, holy shit, I would quit before I have to walk that fucking far.
And my thing is, like, at least how it's been in the city, there are buildings that I work in, have worked in, that don't allow you to smoke within 100 or 200 feet of the building. I was fucking huddled up outside. So I feel like it's a building by building basis. I'll vape away from the building. If someone asks me to go further, I'll go. But if it's fucking 8 degrees out, I'm not going to volunteer my ass across the street.
Well, I've had a few friends that worked for intelligence services and some in hot climates, and they had, no electronics could come in to these buildings. So they had a designated area, like in the middle of the parking lot, where they would have to go and smoke and vape.
Yeah.
And then put their shit in the car and walk their happy ass back in.
Yep.
Which is at least nice. You didn't have to go all the way off of property to do it. But yeah, it caught me by surprise, because I was driving, one day during the day, and I see all these people, and they were like in clumps, like along the sidewalk, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Oh, they're smoking and vaping. I'm like, oh, it just didn't make sense, because the parking lot is literally like a fucking Disney parking lot where it's just rows and rows and rows of parking.
Well, couldn't you just go to your car and smoke? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that?
No, I think that's still on property.
Yeah.
You have to be off property to be able to do it.
That's what I mean. Like if you were going for smoke and you walk like 8 or 9 rows into the lot and just sat in your car and smoked, like.
Yeah, I mean, some of these places, parking lots are so big that they have little trolley stations where they pick you up when you park, and they bring you in. Yeah, so
you do work at Disneyland, huh? Like, I'm telling us about ice cream this whole time.
Pretty much.
I had a client was in Iowa, and this is several years ago. So this is when I was still pretty new vaping, but and normal people didn't know what vaping was back then. So the only place that you were allowed to smoke, same thing, it was this one, smoker's hut, so to speak, and it was just forever away. And there were signs everywhere, like you can't smoke on property anywhere unless it's this one little thing. So yeah, no, I definitely went to went to my car, just rolled up the windows, and just hotboxed it, when I needed a vape.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because a lot of the schools here are just basically they're not even, they're getting smart. They're not even touching the vaping issue. They're saying now the tobacco issue.
Yes, right.
Because they know they're not gaining any ground by vaping because so many other people are getting off of cigarettes vaping. So now they're just labeling it, tobacco. So there was a story too. I hope I'm not taking somebody else's news, but WVU, so West Virginia University, they recently passed, the governors passed a smoke-free policy, and it goes into effect August 1st. And basically, they're lumping e-cigarettes in there because they're just saying tobacco-free campus.
It's been, according to the FDA, it's tobacco, but meth is left out of that exclusion.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and the crazy thing is the fees. Like here in Florida, it's going to be like a $25 fee, for the kids. They're like, oh, well, yeah, we'll see. The parents will start getting tired of paying these fees before they graduate, and all this, because it's going to be, the school imposing the fees, not the police. But some of these are, but.
Indy Tim's right. Like that is something that I always, if I can, avoid it when I'm at a client site. Having to vape where somebody's smoking, like I don't want that. Right. That needs to be away from me at this point because I just don't enjoy it anymore. So I definitely don't want to be dragging that through Railcracker. Right. I mean, like, so
honestly, I don't taste it. I don't, like, you have to be like blowing smoke at my atomizer while I'm pulling from it for me to taste it. Like, I haven't had that happen to me. Like, I vape around plenty of smokers at this point, but it wasn't like I didn't, have a
but it also depends. It also depends where you're at. If you have a lot of wind movement, if you have, like in city, I mean, I think that's different. If you're somewhere where it's fucking humid and it's just stagnant,
still,
man, that shit just builds up.
Mm-hmm.
It builds up, and to be honest, it's not even necessarily that it gets into my vape. The biggest thing for me is I don't want to smell it. I don't want it on my clothes.
Yeah,
because I used to be that, and I don't want that anymore. I don't want to smell smell like a cigarette when I go back inside. So that's why I usually hike off campus or go to my car or something like that just to get away.
Like it's hard to avoid for me. I'm like, if the person in front of me is smoking a cigarette while I'm walking, and I'm like, I'm not gonna treat myself like a car. I'm not gonna fucking cut around.
or be that guy, right? Do you even remember back when you smoked? Yeah, exactly. The fake ass cough.
I know the fucking vape, man.
The fake ass cough when you're smoking. I used to be like, yeah, fuck.
I mean, if you're vaping nano cream, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna smell that.
Yeah.
Like, being around smoke is one thing. Like, in the outdoors, like I haven't been around a cigarette in an indoor space in some time. That's I think I mentioned this before. That kills me more than anything. Because if like you're around people smoking outside, it doesn't like stick to you. If you're like, in closed quarters, man, that shit is.
Mm-hmm. But back when I smoked, though, being able to smoke inside at like your buddy's house that smoked inside or whatever, I never did it at my house ever. But when you were somewhere, that was pretty badass. It's just like kicking back on the couch with a cigarette. It's kind of nice.
we stayed at a friend of a friend's place up at the school in Binghamton. This is during college, and this kid, not fuck around, dude. He had ashtrays in he had like 2 on his coffee table, right? Because he and all of, I think 2 of his roommates smoked. There was one, I went and take a shit in his bathroom, fucking ashtray on the counter. This is a cultured man. I gave him a high five because what was that from? I'm like, got an ashtray in the bathroom, man.
Yeah.
little things,
Yeah, exactly. So this was let's talk about my my vape mail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So your stack on stacks.
Yeah, this little box right now came in the other day. And it's from a company called Etiquette, and this is the first time I've ever ordered from them. And by the way, hat tip to Mr. Shane, who got me hooked up on the list. I hadn't purchased anything for vaping in quite some time. Not counting batteries and juice and stuff. But and it's been even longer than that since it didn't have a Limelight logo on it. So I figured just do something a little bit different. And so I got a little tube mod.
Nice.
The neat thing about this this is the Iniquadro IMO, and the neat thing about this is, if you have ever seen the Skyline drop, it's a pretty small atomizer for a tank. If you put this atomizer or this mod next to it,
wow,
it's freaking about the same size. It's crazy. And that is and I should compare it to the PAPS. Here's the PAPS X 350 mode, same battery. Crazy different.
That's pretty small.
This thing is redonkulously small, and it's real simple. Now, one of the problems with other 350 mods that I've used, tube mods, is the claw. Right? You get the if you got meaty hands, getting the bottom fire thing is annoying. But they Giorgio fixed that by this is a button on the side, so it actually pushes into a sleeve that your battery is sitting on, and it makes a connection. It works pretty damn well, and I was a little concerned about how you would clean it, so it's actually no problem at all. So you take the bottom cap out. I'm going to get to this in a minute, but we've got tube, and it's just I assume laser cut little button there, which is just out of the tube, and then there's a little bottom cap that's just plastic insulator, and then your battery sits at a little guy. It's got a little nipple on the bottom. Cool. Get your negative connection on it, and just kind of goes all together. Here's one problem, and this is standard Italian mod joke here. The threads on this thing is kind
backwards.
All right, so these are half turns, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Very, very, very fine.
Yeah, fine as shit, and lots of them.
It's not a cigarette will take you, but you can thread that on there. Fuck.
But it obviously does spin. That actually one is I mean, that's kind of a silly con. The more concerning one to me is that plastic cap. The threads are A, fine, and B, Delrin, right? They're plastic threads, so I'm not sure exactly how well that'll hold up over time. But one nice thing about the fine threads, though, is that obviously will adjust your battery, because we do have a hybrid connector, right? So your atomizer sits straight on your battery positive. So you can adjust the bottom and snug it right, and it's seamless, and it still looks good no matter how long your battery is, which is cool. But I've been pretty surprised. I wrapped this at a 0.7 ohm, and I'll just show you. I mean, that's
pretty good.
It's a nice drag off of a reasonable, with reasonable warmth. The thing is, obviously, it is just an 18350. The battery life that I've been getting, and you know what? I don't know offhand what the Skyline drop is. I meant to look this up beforehand. Guru Skyline drop. Meant to look this up beforehand, and I forgot. ESG here. I don't remember what the capacity is. Does anybody remember the capacity of the Skyline drop off the top of their head?
2 or 2.5, right? 2.5.
Something like that. I don't recall. Don't recall. Details. Capacity. Oh, come on. I was hoping the capacity would be right here. I don't see it. Whatever it is, it's like 2 mil, and it will go through that whole 2 mil, no problem. About halfway through the second tank, you can definitely see a little bit of a drop off, but it was vapeable to the end of the second tank.
2.8 mils, says Shane.
2.8. Thanks, Shane. So it is pretty reasonable. I am using the this is the Mooch approved Vape cell purple guys, 1100 mAh. And it does, and these are pretty fresh, granted. But like I said, towards the end of that second tank, it was definitely tailing off a little bit with one battery. But if I had something like 6 in this, or Nick salts, or whatever, right, that would be fine. for quite some time, actually, right? And then you've got a mod that's literally the size of my finger. You know, it would even hide behind my finger. Whole setup, right? And which is pretty nice. And like I said, a very, very reasonable sort of drag. It's labeled 1100 mAh Duro, and I put back in, I think right at 970 or something the first time these are new cells that I haven't cycled them but once or twice so far. So I would expect that to go up a little bit. Granted, I did vape it down to 3.2, right, on the old Mac, but it's not Duro. I measured it. You're right. You never get the full capacity out of any cell. Like the 5As, right? The 5As I usually get between 1900 and maybe a little over 2000 mAh back into them. Which is obviously under spec.
Is the mod stainless or titanium? That is a good question. I didn't know that.
The mod is stainless. Oh, no, sorry, it's not stainless. It's fucking rhodium plated brass. So it looks stainless, but inside is brass.
Polonium?
Almost positive.
Rhodium. This is my first rhodium.
Yeah, it's not your first rhodium plated. So if it was brass, I couldn't use it because I freaking hate brass. I hate the way it makes my hands smell. I hate the way it looks after it patinas. Blah 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 blah. But just stick with the 1860. Make that. Duro, actually, to that point, I am pretty sure I heard that Giorgio is going to be making larger tubes for this, for the same kind of setup, but a longer tube. Speaking of which, I did get to talk to Giorgio I'd never talked to him before, and he sent and no, I don't think this is because he knows who I am, because I'm pretty certain he has no idea who I am. But he sent a T-shirt just to say "Welcome to the family." He said, "It says in a quadro T-shirt." Isn't that cool?
Nice.
I have not de-sleeved it yet, which is why I'm not wearing it tonight. Maybe I'll do that for next week. But yeah, I think overall this is pretty cool. I do have the concerns about the plastic threading on the bottom. He does make other things. This is for Giorgio wrote Shane with a little smiley face. He's got a clear plastic bottom cap that Shane bought, and he kind of hitchhiked on top of my DHL package on the way here. I need to send that to Shane. I'm sorry I haven't sent it yet this week, pal, but I'll try to get this out later. But yeah, besides that, you have the battery life thing to worry about with an 18350, but you get the size. And if you're vaping higher nick, probably okay, I would assume. Now I kind of want to. It would probably be kind of gross with a dripper on it, but it would be so adorable. You know what would be really cool? I should go find the old Tiny Tim, the 18240 mod that I've had from forever ago. Shane said that I was big time. That's why he said the T-shirt. I don't think he knows who I am.
That's what you need to do to get a T-shirt now. You have to tell him you have a YouTube channel. Shit.
Well, you have to have somebody else tell him.
What do you have to do to get a free mod?
I didn't tell him that on YouTube.
Say, like,
for sure not. But no, I think the manufacturing quality is really nice. It's got a little engravings and stuff on the bottom. It's real simple. But yeah, that's the other thing. One of the reasons I jumped on it, even though this is it's admittedly a little bit of a novelty for me, it was only €90. It was really inexpensive, I thought. I thought that was pretty cool. Rob's talking about Todd showing a video with the 350 Squonker. Sure. And Limelight's coming out with a 5050, right? Which is a super tiny little box powered by 350, and it's got a RAM board inside of it. And a Boro, right? A billet box tank. It's like a little one that he's making. He's finally making. I actually talked to him today. He's finally getting in the production line for that thing pretty quick. Yeah, exactly, Vic. If I have said that, that is usually the joke that I make. Is like, yeah, I'll tell both of the people that are watching our show anymore, and they'll both get to see your mod. But I do appreciate the fact that he sent over a shirt, even if it was because apparently Shane told me I told him I was big time. Giorgio was a really nice guy too. He was super polite, and everything was just cool. Anyway, that's it. I've definitely been enjoying it so far. We'll see how it goes.
I think it's pretty slick to have the button laser cut out like that.
Whoa, Festy, What?
I said I think it's pretty slick to have the button laser cut out like that.
Oh yeah, it's super.
You know, out of the body.
And and super comfortable because you just have it pinched in your thumb or whatever. You just squeeze. It's great. And you're right, Festy. I forgot to mention that, or I forgot to put that in my notes. But you're right. K-Fun's rebooting the old light. They're bringing back the light. Although I did say they're going to have it in a 24 millimeter too, which is weird. But it is cool that they're bringing back the light.
Well, the 24 millimeter K-Fun was already around. It just wasn't made by Spomesto. Yeah, that is not. Yeah. How many offshoots of the K-Fun were there? They had the giant one that Liam Lynch. Remember that shit?
Yep.
Oh, that's great if they're rebooting the light. All it really needed, in my opinion, was just some slightly larger juice channels. That's about
it. Maybe slightly larger juice channels, and it would be nice if it was top filled.
Like top filled, and also make it not just vapeable in the winter, because come summertime, the thing leaks on you. Like you could do a lot of things, but it'll leak a little on you.
I never had a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, when it got warm out, my shit would just every so often. Yeah. And that was around the time I got the Rose, so it was kind of a nice fix. But yeah, my K-Fun light would leak on me every so. Just because, like, I had the wicking and building that thing down to a T, but it was just.
I wonder if it was just a difference between draws. Like maybe you just have a harder draw or something than I do.
Vape too hard.
Vape hard. But yeah, no, thanks for the reminder, Bestie. But okay, so I can close that out. I do have one other piece of news. I'm pulling that up right now. Here we go. Let me share this. I'll share it. I thought it was interesting. The FDA chief accuses Juul Altria of reneging on promise to combat. I did think this was kind of funny, and not because it says reneging on it. It was see down here. It's old Gottlieb. And where was the thing that I was going to mention specifically? They're talking about, they're targeting the fruit and the mint as targeting. Yeah, so this is the thing.
I'm sorry, I thought menthols were originally marketed to females.
Yeah, maybe, probably
they were actually.
They certainly weren't not marketed to females, but they were also marketed to. At least they're currently marketed.
That's how they got women to start smoking. Was like, don't smoke, tobacco. It was like, yeah, there's mint in menthol.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting article. It's obviously silly, but it is what it is. I'm going to paste that in chat for people to look at if they want to look at it. Oh, Rick, somebody's PV went off in an airplane.
Oh shit.
That's interesting. So one thing I actually shared a picture the other day with a buddy of mine is it was eating. What was it? Eating carbs is the new smoking. it was like a meme kind of one panel comic about people eating carbs. It's the new smoking. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's about right.
Yeah, the mindset is that it represents something bad is for deeply ingrained. Yeah, and it was like a point I'd made well earlier in the show is that like I said they're gonna piggyback it on the public smoking campaign and optics, man. Fuck.
Yep.
Flat brim hats. Ugh.
Granted, we may be guilty of being a little judgy when it comes to that as well. Slobby, smelly vapors at cons.
What?
But they're
I'm sorry. When I pay for a hotel room, I use the fucking shower that comes with it.
Yeah.
Don't put that evil on me, angsty Bobby.
I never.
I'm not saying you did it. I'm saying that we've been judgy at people that do it.
Yeah. I never honestly, I never got that because, okay, the black everywhere, I get it. But for you to stink through having everybody was wearing multiple layers of clothing, you know, it's kind of like
it's a niche hobby thing, man.
It's kind of like, yo, it's your fucking you and your BO clothes stinking this shit up, you know? Like, you need to wash your clothes before you go on a trip. Fucking wash them in the tub in the hotel room and hang them to dry the next day if you need to, you know?
I've been told that, you know, a lot of cons are like that, though. It kind of brings out all the weirdos.
So
yeah.
My brother's phone is on the floor because I could fucking hear it vibrating, and it's bugging me right now. It's so fucking loud. It's like, I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, you know, I think he's looking for his phone.
Just send him a text real quick. Pick up your phone. Get it off the floor. Seriously. Vic agrees. He says, listen, you got a choice to not shower or wear deodorant. You deserve to be shamed. I do agree with you.
I think I've made a joke about Smash Brothers tournaments before, and then time I went to MLG. They have the right now at Smash Brothers tournament kick you out if you smell like a foot.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's become so. You remember when that really popular Reddit post, the kids squatting with people's butt cracks at Magic tournaments?
Sure.
I feel like it all started there because he exposed like the most annoying thing about being a card player. If you've ever played Magic or any other card game, tournaments, meetups, they all kind of turn out the same. So yeah, Smash Brothers tournaments were also bad. Gaming events, Comic-Con before good-looking people were allowed to go probably smelled really bad. You know,
they all got a common feng qua.
Yeah, it's a niche hobby thing. I'm sure some of the older folks in chat went to a LAN party and that didn't always smell good.
Yeah, it smelled like burnt CRT hairs.
Burnt CRT hairs.
Yeah, it's the smell that you get when you walk by CRT and your hairs start melting because it was so hot and everybody was cramped into one location.
That absolutely is true, right? Closed off the doors and it just 4 or 5 PC towers, CRTs, eating that shit up. Link is in the group for what, Rick? Oh yeah, for the Delta Airline thing. I did not see that, but I do believe you. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
So the device actually went off while on the plane?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
Mask, my brother sent me this viral video that's going around about this Florida woman shaving her legs while on the back of a scooter. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I saw that. It's really terrible too, because she's like knocking it on his turn signal right to clear the racer and just.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I look at the article, I'm like, this has to be a hot chick doing this. Like,
antique radio shows. Holy crap! I can't imagine that smells like anything but old man.
That shit probably smells like tobacco and aqua velva, man.
Oh Jesus!
And like maybe mothballs if some of the misses are brought.
Yeah, smells like tobacco and Ben Gay.
Shane said he didn't like pose a question. Shane just said Haku BB Addy. just like
wait,
it's a noun. that's not a question.
Is that how the cool BB-8?
Yeah. I had talked about it, and I shared it when Steven gave the all clear to share the deck pick. It is pretty cool. For sure, I do think it'll go well. It with all of the, I think it actually might be a little intimidating for some folks because there are a lot of pieces. There's a lot of pieces to that, and it's really cool that there's a lot of pieces because it's super customizable about how much airflow you want, and it's not just the input air on the bottom. It goes all the way to the coil, and there's like a restrictor on the chimney that you can put in there to further constrict stuff down, and there's like adjustment screws on the deck to change around the wicking style. If you're wanting to do something really like a 50-50 really thin e-liquid, you can change up your wicking to make sure that doesn't flood. Anyway, there's a lot going on in that Addy, which I think is really neat, but I'm definitely interested in seeing how it works for sure.
Yeah.
Robert is asking if there's any 21-700 billet box in the works. I don't know that there is. I doubt it.
You kind of kill the compactness of it.
Yeah. First of all, yeah, it totally kills the compactness and the weight. But the other side of that too is, for the first time in I don't remember how long, the last few months, there's actually like billet boxes staying in stock on the site. And I've been told they're ramping production down a little bit. Like they're not producing as many anymore because of that. I don't have any insider information on that. I've just been told that, and also have seen that there's existing inventory staying around pretty.
Just from a design standpoint,
yeah,
billet box would have to be at minimum 5 millimeters taller, right? They're about 3 to 5 millimeters taller. You have to automatically account for the extra 3 millimeters height of the battery.
Right.
You have to account for extra thickness and wideness.
Right.
So it would be like a deck and a half of cards, maybe deck and a third, somewhere
and taller than one too, for sure.
Yeah, taller than one too. But just the I could deal with it. For me, I could probably live with a taller billet box. I just couldn't deal with a wider one,
right,
and a thicker one. But
yeah, no, I agree, and I always hated that the double, the 1, 2, 3 size of the original billet or the Rev 3s, just no. But when it moved to the 650, it was just right. It was the right size. It was real nice and slim, easy to put into a pocket. I don't want a bigger, fatter billet box. Personally, that's
Robert says, I think you meant to say awesome size. Why don't you come in here so I can pull out those teeth of yours, huh?
Rob, they may well be out of stock at this point.
Not every color is going to be in stock, but they do have colors in stock.
Yeah.
I think me and Dong Magnum were looking at their website last weekend.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I don't doubt it. I definitely seen colors in stock. For sure.
They're in stock right now.
Yeah.
There you go. Go ahead, billet box. You want a billet box? We'll get a billet box.
Yeah, and Shane, I think the only point would just be capacity. Would it be nice? Sure, but at the same time, if you're building for a tank atomizer like you would be in a billet box, a 650 don't last you a long damn time in that thing. I never had a problem. Oh, Ernest says they still don't ship to Pennsylvania. That's a sad story. Freaking PA. That sucks.
Well, Robert, 3 and 5 millimeters in every direction. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it ends up making it bigger than you'd actually think. I mean, I stopped carrying bigger devices at this point, so good. I don't, like I said, it was, we come back to my original point when 20s and 21s were getting popular is the vape trade-off hands. I'm calling this. I'm not taking this from anyone else in the vaping community, but it's like, okay, slightly better capacity and amp rating or size compact, because I've gone into length about this thing, for instance, this is a belt tightener.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that thing. I'm pretty sure that thing's made out of lead. That was heavy as shit.
It's made of, yeah, it is lead, and it's probably like bronze too, for all I know.
Rob, I'm sure that guy does have a review on the shitty RDTA Boro thing. No. I have been told by multiple people that I know that have purchased one that is a leak machine. So I did hear that the Otis guys were trying to fix that by replacing the gasket or something, but I'm not buying any Otis shit anyway. So
would you say they blew a gasket figuring that out?
I'm sure they did. In typical Otis fashion, pre-selling a bunch of them and then selling other ones before they sold the ones that they pre-sold. Yeah.
It's pre-sale.
They pulled the coolest cooler.
Yeah. As per usual.
Did you order one of those? Hope you didn't.
Did I order one of what?
The coolest cooler.
Nah.
Oh, the coolest cooler. I don't remember where I knew that from, and then I remember it's the iDubbbz thing, right?
Yeah, it was like one of the first, if not the first, like really successful Kickstarter project. Then,
yeah,
like, oh, hey, the original backers, hey, they're on Amazon now.
Yeah,
that's what iDubbbz did. He ordered one off Amazon, and he got it well after the fact of people not having theirs and tested it out. The only Otis I know is Spunkmeyer. Makes very lovely muffins and cookies.
And cookies, yeah. Oh, Fessy said they've noped out on the gasket. Now they're just going to go for a V2. Suckers.
It wasn't just a gasket. It was all carbon. Hey, the Zaddy's not bad. Oh, they're all bad.
Yeah, we'll take your $100 pre-order. Now you can be our beta testers. And if it fucks up, oh well, buy the V2.
They selling atomizers, or what was that fucking game? Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Hey, $60 you get like 5 hours of content. But wait, give us like 6 months. Promise. I owe you on content.
I never trust a game that has you eating bananas, peel and all. That's weird.
Yeesh.
Do you do that in the game? That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. You literally just take a banana out, just jam it in your face, just rah, rah, rah.
I mean, what did they know back then? I mean, only like 300 years ago.
Vic said you're just buying an Orion RPA too. You are a glutton for punishment, Vic.
Punishment or disappointment? There's a glutton for punishment is I think.
Festy said the V1 owner's gonna discount to buy a V2. Sorry, you bought something that doesn't really work that great. Give us some more money, we'll give you a different one.
It's ridiculous.
That's pretty hilarious. All right. Masty, you got an outro for us or no?
I do not.
You should roll that first part again.
I had a Cloudmaker joke on the tip of my tongue. And... All
right. All right. Oh, you know that was made in China, Guru. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't forget charging China. Where is Otis based out of?
Canada, isn't it?
Is it? I have no idea.
I think they're Canuckistans.
Because I know they made a black Narda cap once upon a time that I wanted. I think it was that.
I've got one. It smells like fish.
Mm.
I didn't even buy it. Will sent it to me because he had an extra one because I wanted to try it out. He goes, "Yeah, it's not that great." I took it out of the package. It literally smells like fish.
It smells like you cut gym class with Jennifer, huh?
It was not pleasant. I take some Oda's BB panels. Okay. Why? There's a lot of people make BB panels. And it's not Otis.
Yes, our friend and comrade C-Death. I remember he'd make his own like wood veneer panels for his Lost Vape stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
He got like the thinnest sheets of like just stable. Like, is it veneer or stable? I don't know, but it was just pliable enough for him to.
I think I'd have to go through my tray of vape shit. Like just rando old vape stuff. I am certain I still have a C-Death bottle. What do they call it? The wizard sleeves.
Oh, the wizard too. Yeah,
with sleeve.
I've got one around, at least one around somewhere. I just don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Well, look, this is on top. Look at there.
Well, unfortunately, where the fuck did it go? This does not fit in the wizard sleeve. So.
No, that would not fit in the wizard sleeve. The sleeve of wizards.
I need a wizard Vape to fit that in. But anywho.
All right.
Addicts panels.
Anybody
I don't know
got
what an panel is. No, and Tim was saying in chat, since no one will trade me for my Maddox panels. Like, I don't think I've heard of Maddox.
There's several people in the Billetbox Bay, I think, that make Billetbox panels.
Oh.
They got clear ones and ones with windows and shit in them and all kind of stuff. I'll just stick with my normal ones. It's fine. I do replace my button. JMK tips. Good shit.
Oh, stabwood panels. That's nice. Why won't anyone trade you for them, Tim? Do they have cooties?
Oh, that's right. Nolly. Shane, are the Nolly ones? Is that honeycomby one that you got? Because I think those things are pretty cool. They're expensive as shit, though, if I remember right. Like they were like $100, $150 or something crazy.
God damn.
Mm-hmm. They were expensive. I don't remember exactly how much they were, but I do remember they were expensive. But anyway, ready?
All right.
Yeah.
Adios. Adios.
Bye-bye, people. See you next week.
Peace out.
Bye.
Wu-Tang Clan.